You would not believe what I had to do to get everyone out of this room just to make this video. But I wanted to show you. Okay, so you're gonna start off with frozen, discard, and each one, sorry I painted this morning. Each one of these are always roughly around 50 grams before they're frozen. So you know that if you're going to use it in a recipe and it calls for whatever, 100 grams or 120, whatever, you can know that, or how many you need to thaw out. So always put them in a container with a lid in the fridge to thaw out like this. And then once they have thawed out, obviously, they're gonna look something like this. This is a lot, this is like 4. This would be like the equivalent of 4. But obviously it's gonna be much more like a thick pancake batter. But as you see, it'll stick to the sides, and you don't want that for when you're gonna make it for pizza crust. Now, at this point, once it's like this in the fridge, you can take it out and put it into any discard recipe, and there's tons of them online. So this is just gonna be discard. You can just add it in with whatever other ingredients. But if you're using this just straight discard to put on the pan to make pizza crust, or we use it to do breakfast sandwiches and put eggs and stuff, then it's gonna be too sticky like this. So all you're gonna do is add oil just straight on top, like of your discard, pour some oil on top. And just like a side note, I was at a nutrition workshop one time, and there was a chef there, and he was telling us that the best oil to cook high heat with is avocado oil, and that this brand Chosen is actually the best one he had ever found, and he had experimented with a lot in his restaurant. So just side note. So you're gonna pour oil in and then mix it in, and you'll see that the mixture just becomes non-sticky. You know what I mean? And then I usually add garlic salt and Italian seasoning, or like oregano, or just whatever. But you know, you'll see however much you want to season it, and you can wait until you start to really flatten it out and then season it however you want, or both. But you just, like I said, you want to mix enough oil in to when you're stirring it with your silicone spatula, that's the best, it's not leaving residue on the sides, you know what I mean? And at that point, you'll be ready to like pour in the pan. And then I'll try and do a video to show you how I do that. But this will at least get you to that point. Okay, so since mine has so much oil around it, I'm not gonna add any extra, but if yours doesn't, you can, you know, do some spray oil, whatever. Or if you think it's gonna really go over. It's just like spreadable dough, like a pancake. If it comes apart, just go right over it. It's okay, it'll give you some cool little holes. And once you see it start to like get dark like that, I mean like a pancake, you know, you'll know it's done. So just keep, the kids are doing pull-ups upstairs, the kids and Annan. So that's what that noise is. So once it starts to kind of all start to get dry, or get done, I should say, I add another layer of this is what my house is always like. This is when I add my last layer of seasonings. Get love. It's really forgiving. So after it sits here for probably about 3 to 5 minutes and all of this gets done enough on the top, you can start adding your toppings if you want to. And then what I do is, if you're on a cast iron skillet, you can just put it directly in your oven, but I just transfer it to a parchment lined baking pan and then just put it in the oven. And this is one I had in there. So you can see, this one I just took out. I'm gonna keep it in there a little bit longer. But that's how it'll work.